Good afternoon, and welcome to the Dougherty County School System Regular Board Meeting. We will do our board briefing. Mr. Superintendent, do we have any presentations or public comments?
Yes, ma'am. We have two sets of presentations today. First, we have Dr. Jewel Faison will come and present our newly appointed local school governance team members as they get sworn in by the Honorable Chief Superior Court Judge Denise Marshall.
Good evening.
Good
Mrs.
evening.
Poole, our chairperson, Superintendent Dyer, and the board. To you, I think about 14 names. Now, there are some people that could not come and that let us know that they weren't going to come, but I'm going to call all the names that I have. Is that okay? What I'm asking LSGT members that are here to do is when you come to get your certificate from Mr. Dyer and Mrs. Poole, if you'll stay up here, stand to the side so that we can get pictures and after you get your own administered, okay? Jacqueline Resco. Mr. Dyer, Ms. Poole,
Vice Chair was going down with
the
you
Vice
there.
Chair, okay. Dr. Gwendolyn Taylor. Ms. Kimberly Mitchell. Mr. Larry Williford. Ms. Amanda Holmes. Ms. Kimberly Chambers. Okay, I'll take that. Ms. Rosalind Coney. Ms. Delarita Mency. Ms. Tanya Sperlin.
Good evening. I am Denise Marshall from the Dougherty Superior Court here in Dougherty County, and it is my pleasure for third or fourth or whatever time I've done this. But each time it's exhilarating, and I appreciate the invitation, although I can't say no to Dr. Faison anyway. But thank you all for your presence, for your service, for your continued commitment to this community. It's my pleasure to have an opportunity to swear you in at this time. Please raise your right hands to be sworn. You do swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this cause is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you very much. I'm going to now ask you to repeat after me. I state your individual names, do solemnly swear or affirm that you will truly and faithfully discharge all the duties required by me by law as members of the local school governance team at state your respective schools. It works. To the best of my ability. All right. Now, I'm going to ask you to further repeat after me. I do solemnly swear and affirm that I am not the holder of any public money due to this state unaccounted for, that I am not the holder of any office of trust under the government of the United States or of the several states, nor of any foreign state, and that I shall otherwise qualify to hold said office according to the Constitution of the United States and the laws of Georgia. And I will support the Constitution of the United States of this state and the bylaws of the Dougherty County Board of Education. So help me God. Please state, I do. I do. Thank you very much. You are now sworn in members of the local school governance board. I thank you for your willingness to serve on behalf of so many in this community. Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Madam Chair, that concludes our swearing-in ceremony for our newly sworn-in local school governance team members, and I want to make sure I express my sincere appreciation for those local school governance team members. We always say it takes a village, and this is certainly an integral part of our village to help with school governance and bringing fresh ideas to our schools as we meet the needs of our students. So thank you very much for your commitment to service on behalf of our students. Next, Madam Chair, we have one more set of presentations. We have one of our favorite presentations, our student recognitions, and Ms. Lakeisha Bryant Bruce will come to make those presentations. And then the board members who want to participate, feel free to come down.
Good evening. We will start with Monroe Comprehensive High School. When I call your name, please come to the front to get your certificates and remain at the front for a group photo. Brianna Carter, second place, printmaking category, Georgia State National Fair Art Contest. Elijah Strum, first place, altered photography, Georgia State National Fair Art Contest. Third place, altered photography, Georgia State National Fair Art Contest. Best in category, altered photography, youth art competition, Georgia State National Fair Art Contest. Emily Ramirez, first place, color pencil category. Second place, wire category. Best in category, youth art competition. And high merit award, Georgia State National Fair Art Contest and the Blick Celebrating Art Contest. Radium Springs Middle Magnet School of the Arts. First award, Mary Sanford. First place, youth art competition, best in category, and best in show, Georgia State National Fair Art Contest. And each of the next students are members of the softball team. They all won second place in the Deep South Conference. Chelsea Brown, Deja Baker, Jocelyn Perez, Casey Wilson, Madison Jackson, Riley Washington, Serafina Washington, Trinity Dawsey, Tiana Jackson, and Zion Nix. And Riley is a student at Robert Cross Middle School, but she participates on the softball team at Radium Springs. And our last school of the evening, Westover Comprehensive High School. Eric Daniels, second place, HOSA Digital Brochure winner. Gabrielle Teasley, third place, HOSA Digital Brochure winner. And the HOSA Statesman Award exam goes to Harmony James and Iviana Jones.
I sent it to you. You can do it now. Well, everybody home either way. I sent it to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Madam Chair, that concludes our presentation. You gonna let everybody know they can?
Thank you all for coming. We appreciate that. Those of you that wanted to stay are welcome to stay. Let's give them a few minutes for those that want to exit. Thank you again for coming. Thank you, Dr. Faison, for your work and your staff. Well, Ms. Green. So can we move me back on us? Okay. Ms. Superintendent, do we have any more presentations or comments?
No presentation, ma'am. That's all we have for presentation. I do want to acknowledge that Veterans Day is tomorrow, and we'll be out of school tomorrow, and we have several social media posts scheduled to honor our veterans. We certainly appreciate their service to our country. And on a not so pleasant note, I want to bring to the board's attention the passing of Ms. Barbara Turner. Passed away last week, and her funeral services will be held November 15th, this Saturday at noon at the US 19 Church of Christ on Liberty Expressway. And the interment will follow Riverside Cemetery. And Elliott Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. Also, over the weekend, two of my colleagues passed away. Superintendent Phil Williams from Tryon City Schools passed away Saturday of a heart attack at the age of 58. And then my friend, Eric McPhee, superintendent in Grady County. I got a call last night that he passed away, a tragic death. And so if you will, keep those families in your prayers as they deal with tremendous loss of their loved ones. So now with that being said, Madam Chair, there are no more comments from me.
Okay. Board members will review the agenda items to give board members an opportunity to give questions, make comments. We will need executive session to discuss personnel, litigation.
Personnel.
The personnel, no. Board members, do you have any questions or comments about the agenda? Agenda items 1, minutes mid-month board meeting held on October 30th, 2025. Hearing none. Item 2, consider recommendation of employee personnel. 3, consideration of recommendation of release of personnel. 4, hearing none, consideration of recommendation to extend contract with Elevated K-12. Okay. Number 5, consideration of recommendation to approve utility easement agreement. And number 6, consideration recommendation to approve fundraising request. Do we have any committee reports? Hearing none, Mr. Superintendent, are you ready for your report?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. All right. Madam Chair, board members. Superintendent's report for November 10th. Okay. Okay, all right. November 10th, 2025. I had to make sure the click was working. The vision of the Daughter County School System is that we're a destination school system that, in collaboration with families and community stakeholders, provides quality educational and social development experiences that empowers graduates to be successful and impactful contributors to academic needs of our students with rigorous and relevant educational experiences that equip them to succeed in life. Our 5 strategic priorities include early literacy, academic rigor and relevance, student wellness, and investment in human capital, and family and community engagement. And the topics of discussion from our report tonight will include an update on delayed property tax revenue, overview of our 2026 legislative priorities, a review of our policy updates, and celebrations and announcements, and then if the board sees fit in the executive session for personnel. First out, the delayed property tax revenue. At the last meeting, I mentioned to you that the Daughter County Tax Department is had requested an extension for submitting property tax bills to the citizens, and that was approved. So we anticipate a significant delay in receiving property tax revenue from the county this year, as late as typically we get it in mid-December to late December. We anticipate it being late January, toward the end of January, so a 30-day or so, 30 to 45-day delay. And of course, that will impact our cash flow, as we're used to getting about $36 million or so in December. What we are doing is monitoring our cash flow, and our options include liquidating some of the treasury bills that we have invested, or getting a tax anticipation note through the end of January. As we monitor our cash flow, we don't see that there'll be a need until mid-December. So we will not bring a recommendation to the board tonight for that action, but that we do anticipate bringing one on the December 8th meeting, unless they send the bills out quicker and we get the funds back sooner than we currently anticipate. Do we have any questions or comments regarding that? If not, then we'll move on to our legislative priorities. A couple weeks ago, we received a pretty quick turnaround we gave notice. We received notice that required a quick turnaround on presenting our legislative priorities to our local delegation to the General Assembly, and we did so. Mr. Davis, Dr. Finley, Dr. Chun accompanied me as we presented our priorities. As you see, the expansion of our early learning opportunities, and we discussed the need for early learning, particularly expanding pre-K. Of course, we thank our local delegation for the work and support for expanding pre-K thus far. We've probably seen the highest percentage of increases in pre-K classes of any school district in the state of Georgia. And gave a special thanks to Representative Gerald Green, who accompanied me on a visit to the members of the leadership at DCAL, Department of Early Care and Learning, as we made our proposal, and also within Chamber President Barbara Rivera Holmes. And although we didn't get a favorable response at the time, we kept going, and they made a visit and determined it was appropriate to have us to request as many classrooms as we could fill. And we requested 6 additional classrooms, and we filled all of them. And so that brought our total over the last 8 years to about 12 new classrooms, regular ed and general ed classrooms. So we certainly thank them for that. We also made them aware there's a continuing need for an expansion of early learning opportunities for students in Dougherty County. We will continue to appreciate their support in that regard. Second, and that's a repeat priority. It's been our #1 priority in terms of legislative priorities. since I became superintendent. And second, QBE, adding a weight for economically disadvantaged students. This is our second year with that. And again, we thank Senator Freddie Powell Sims, who co-sponsored a bill in the Senate for amending the QBE formula to include weight for poverty. And we also thank Representative Jerry Green again for co-sponsoring a bill in the House for the same thing in the last legislative session. As I mentioned before, although those bills did not make it out of committee, we did establish some momentum, and we were able to get included in the budget a $15 million allocation for a pilot to support school systems with high concentration of students in poverty. Just as a reminder, Georgia is one of 6 states in the country that doesn't provide additional weight for students in poverty in its funding formula. And so we're looking to make sure that it's no longer one of the 6 states that does not do that. And so we're again advocating for an expansion of the pilot, but also making it a permanent change to the QBE funding formula or a categorical grant to support students who are economically disadvantaged. 3, the state health benefit plan for non-certified staff. As we've discussed for the last several years, there's been a steep increase in the employer portion of state health benefit plan premiums. It's gone from a little under $10,000 per employee per year to over $20,000, $21,000. And of course, the state does provide funding for certified employees paid with state funds. They do not provide funding for classified staff. So that cost is borne solely by the school system. And up through 2012, the state paid 25% of the cost for classified staff. So we're asking the state to reconsider that cost sharing for employees, because every dollar that we spend on state health benefit plan premiums is a dollar we cannot spend to support students in the classroom. And of course, we'll continue to do that because it's vitally important to make sure our employees have adequate health care. We certainly think it would be appropriate for the state to participate in that cost at the same level they participated in through 2012. And then our final priority is our teacher pipeline. Again, we've been discussing that for quite some time, and specifically looking at expanding or extending the retiree return to work provision. Is currently under House Bill 385 that expires at the end, sunsets at the end of this school year. We're asking that they remove the sunset and also increase the flexibility to districts so that it won't be allowing just teachers in the 3 top highest need areas as determined by the RESA, but any other core subject areas in any school system provide that additional flexibility to meet the needs of our students, because we all know that the number one impact on student achievement is a quality teacher in the classroom. We want to do all we can to keep that pipeline as robust as we can as we see fewer and fewer people entering the profession. It will behoove us to have those recent retirees who would like to come back and serve to do so, to offset the loss of people who are entering. So those are our 4 priorities. We engaged in some robust discussion with our legislative delegation. They were very appreciative of our time, and we received assurances that they would support each of these priorities when they got on the Hill under the Gold Dome in Atlanta. And so I certainly want to thank them for that. And did I miss anything? Anyone? Okay, all right. Any questions about the legislative priorities or the presentation? If not, then we'll move on and we'll go to our policy updates. And I'll turn this portion of the update over to Dr. Finley, who will do a review of sections D through F as we discussed at a previous meeting, and also introduce JCDAF.
Good evening. esteemed Board of Education, Superintendent, Mr. Dyer, district and school leadership and staff, families, and community stakeholders. It is an honor to come before you to provide an update on our policy revision process. Today, I will start by giving a brief update related to sections D, E, and F, fiscal management, business management, and facilities expansion program. We are currently still in the process of updating and revising these particular policies. Although we want to move at a steady pace, we want to ensure that what we provide to you for review and consideration is strong and has been well informed by our staff who touch and implement the policies within our district daily. So the goal is to ensure that we provide updated versions of D, E, and F to you as soon as possible. We're looking at this week or the beginning of next week. And with the ask that, when we come back in December, the consideration for the second read and possible adoption for sections D, E, and F. So that's where we are with D, E, and F. And there's more to come as it relates to those particular sections. So any questions about those sections? All right. So in your folder, I know every time you see me, I have a new folder for you. Within the folder in front of you, you have policy JCDAF, use of electronic devices by students. We do have a current policy as relates to use of electronic devices by students. There has been a law, House Bill 340, that speaks to the Distraction-Free Education Act with the goal of decreasing distractions within schools, trying to ensure that instructional time is used for engagement within the instruction and the lesson instead of, cell phones and other devices. So if you open up your folder, you'll see the first bullet points just gives you a definition of what personal electronic devices, what falls in that particular category, because it's more than just cell phones. It's a number of different electronic devices that fall within that scope. The law speaks to grades K through 8. As you read within the documents in your folder, you'll see that it's pre-K through 8 that we have for consideration. And also, we provided 2 different options for you to review and for your consideration. And we put, I stand corrected, we put pre-K through 12 for your consideration, with the understanding that the law speaks to K through 8. And there's 2 different options. The first option speaks to, again, pre-K through 12 with no electronic devices throughout the whole entire day. This includes transitions, this includes lunch, this includes bell to bell as it relates to the school day. So that's our first option, and that's pre-K through 12. The second option breaks it down more. You have pre-K through 8, and then you have a 9 through 12 section. And the big difference here, the 9 through 12 section, it provides the opportunity for students to utilize their electronic device during lunch. So in the first option, that option is not there as it relates to high schoolers being able to use their device during lunch. In the second option, you will see that that is within that particular policy. And that's like a key difference between the 2. Both policies prohibit the use of electronic devices during transitions, but as it relates to instructional time, it's prohibited. The only time in option 2, cell phones would be during lunch, depending on the decision that you all make when you consider. So those are the 2 options that we have before you today. Today we're asking for you to accept this information for consideration for the first read. And we'll come back before you in December for second read and possible adoption for this particular policy. At this time, in timeline, January 1st, we have to have a policy adopted for this use of electronic devices by students. And July 1, 2026 is full implementation. So at this time, I'll stop for any questions.
Thank you, Dr. Finley. Do we have any questions? Again, as we've discussed a couple of times, that this is a state law that's requiring us to have a policy. We already have a policy. State law addresses K through 8. After having several discussions with board members, there was seemed to be at least some appetite for a K through 12 policy. And the two options that he presented, one prohibits the use of devices all school day long for pre-K through 12. The other provides a restriction all day long for pre-K through 8, and then with limited access during the lunch period for high school. Again, those are the two policies, options that are Finley presented. And again, it's not for action tonight, for your consideration as first read and then for adoption at the December 12th meeting. Do we have any questions or comments at this time?
And I just had one. I know on our old policy, we had consequences of violators. Where would that be put in the handbook?
It will be in our student discipline matrix that we have, and those level 1 through 3 will be identified.
I'm sure everybody's gonna follow the policy, so we won't need it. I just would like to have that in mindset.
Yes, ma'am.
Because we're gonna get more calls on this than anything in the entire, my 16-year career.
And just so you know, the next set of policies are G, H. I think they'll bring those, and then we have I and J will come after that. And section J is the student policy, and that's where our code of conduct is located. So those will be presented probably in January or February.
Ms. Hand, Dr. Hand, sorry.
My question is, are these devices that we're trying to put away, are they gonna be placed in the lockers, or are they gonna be on their person and locked, or what?
They can't be visible.
Can't be visible.
Visible, right. And depending on which option is adopted by the board, if the total ban is adopted pre-K through 12, then no one should have their phones visible at any time during the day. Procedurally, we have not decided regarding how that'll work. Some schools have purchased yonder patches or pouches rather for the students to store the devices. We're not leaning toward that. That's just another option. So the students, they will have to keep them on their person, away, tucked away until they're allowed to use them before school or after school. And that way the school system won't be responsible for storing them or replacing them if someone breaks into the store to get them. And so that's where we're leaning.
Ms. Hudley?
Madam Chair, I am in favor of the DCSS policy pre-K through 12 because it leaves the young scholars to the business of getting a thorough education without interruption. And I just simply like to state that, please, ma'am, thank you so very much.
Any other questions? Okay, well, we know it's Mr. Bush.
What if I wanted to call my grandson about an emergency? How would that affect the student if they?
Reverend Bush, the procedures that'll be in place will be that you have to contact your student you will call the front office of the school, and that student will be paged or contacted via the front office. That's how we did it back in the day before we had cell phones all over the place. We just called the school and they, yeah.
Madam Chair, it
Yes,
relieves
sir.
the burden from the youngster of competing with other individuals who have varying kinds of devices. It's the absence of interruption of their education that is most dear to me. And I don't see any problem with my getting in touch with Wonderful if he's in that school. If I make that call to you or to his teacher or somebody who knows him, the cafeteria worker.
Right.
Could you quietly go isolate or help our instructor to isolate Wonderful for me? And we have to be serious about what it is that we are expected to do for these young scholars who are with us a limited amount of time. And it necessarily interrupts the person sitting near Wonderful if I'm allowing him to have a phone or something, or some other kind of device. Added to that is my concern over vapes. And I just want to raise all of that. Thank you, Mrs. Poole.
Thank you. And I know, Mr. Dyer, you and your staff are looking at other systems that is already, I know Turner has already started theirs last year to find out what's the best method along with the policy, so to coincide between now and next board meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Madam-
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Since the devil advocate was speaking, I thought somebody was calling. Yes, Ms. Norton. Yes, Ms. Gaines.
yes, I have a question. When you're speaking in terms of devices, will that include the Beats headphones? Because I've seen those in some of the schools with students also. Is
Yes,
that
ma'am.
considered a device?
Yes, ma'am. The definitions page speaks of any privately owned device capable of sending, receiving, storing, recording, or displaying data or communications, including but not limited to cell phones, smart watches, tablets, e-readers, headphones, earbuds, gaming devices, and similar technology.
Thank you very much. I don't have that
Yes, ma'am.
document. so-
And
Yeah,
we'll
I
make sure-
I realize that. That's why I read it for you. We apologize.
We'll make
for that.
sure we get one
That's
in the
okay.
email. Say it
Okay, thank
again.
you very much.
Can someone make sure she gets this by email tonight? Okay. Thank you. Any other questions to Dr. Finley? Thank you again, sir. Next, anything else, Mr. Superintendent?
Yes, ma'am, just
Okay.
celebrations and announcements. As you may recall, we applied and received a grant to implement the Leader in Me character development program in 17 of our schools. And at its last board meeting, the state of Georgia, the State Department of Education named Franklin Covey as the Education Leader in Me program as a state model program for character education. So we look forward to implementing the Leader in Me at our schools this year, beginning this year. And again, it's been named the model program for character education in the state. So we're looking forward to the results that will come with that. As you know, we've discussed the change we noted in students across the country in terms of behavior and some of the challenges that have been presented since we returned in earnest in 2021, 2022. And so although we have several programs in place, this is a real program that will go across our system, and we're looking forward to excellent results from that. Just last week, the State Department of Education again named as literacy and math leaders. And again, just like in past years, the Georgia County school system has several schools listed as literacy leaders, including Lamar Reese Magnet School of the Arts, Lincoln Elementary Magnet School, Raven Springs Elementary School, Robert H. Harvey Elementary School, and the Robert A. Cross Middle Magnet School were literacy leaders, and Robert A. Cross Middle Magnet School also listed as a math leader. over the last 3 years that this program has been in place, we've had 11 Douglas County School System schools be recognized as literacy leaders, and I think 9 as math leaders, something like that, and with several schools being recognized in multiple years. So just want to congratulate those schools, the first-time schools and the repeat schools for being named literacy and math leaders for their growth in literacy and math, as well as their achievement in literacy and math. So congratulations to those schools and those scholars. And we also had Miss Kelsey Salter, a 9th grader at Doherty High School, recognized for earning first place in the National Senior Beta Club Convention for Social Studies. Social studies.
Social studies, social studies, social studies.
Yes, ma'am. For those that didn't hear that, that was social studies. And she won first place in the Georgia Beta Club Convention in February, and then she won first place in the National Senior Beta Club Convention. So congratulations to Miss Kelsey Salter, and she'll have an opportunity to come before the board at our next student recognition program to get her award. Of course she is, yes ma'am. All right, yes ma'am. And then finally, we on this Wednesday, November 12th at noon at Doherty Comprehensive High School, we'll do the community launch of Keep East Albany Beautiful. It's a partnership between Keep Albany and Doherty Beautiful, the City of Albany and the Doherty County School System. So our Commissioner John Howard will be on program to make comments. I think Dr. Fennessy will bring comments on behalf of the Board of Education. And of course, Principal Bobbitt will be there as well to provide a welcome. And we'll have signs out. We have signs at every Doherty County School System school about keeping the neighborhood clean. And we're going to adopt the area around each of those schools to make sure we do cleanups to ensure that the grounds are kept beautiful as we present the best we can in terms of our curb appeal to the rest of the community. So we want to thank Keep Albany Doherty Beautiful, thank the City of Albany, specifically Commissioner Howard, and all our schools in the Doherty County School System for their participation in this very worthwhile effort. Do you have any questions or comments about anything in my report or anything else?
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
this is for the superintendent. I just wanted to know, for those 5 schools, is there a stipend that they will receive to purchase supplies or whatever they need to continue their success in those areas?
No, ma'am. That's not planned. We haven't done it in the past. They do get recognized with a banner from the Georgia Department of Education. We do not provide a stipend for that, but that's something we can certainly consider if that's something the board wishes for us to do. And I do think that if we do that, we may want to look at it retro for the schools that received the recognition in the past as well.
Okay, and the second question, will those schools be recognized on the marquees throughout the city or one of them?
Yes, ma'am. They'll all be recognized in all of the marquees throughout the city.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any other questions for superintendent from his superintendent report? Hearing none, Mr. Superintendent, can we entertain a motion to go into executive session for personnel?
Madam Chair, I move that we go into executive session for personnel.
Madam Chair, I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? We are now in executive session. Officer a moment of silence and a pledge of allegiance. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Mr. Superintendent, do we have any more public comments or presentation?
No, ma'am, Madam Chair.
Okay. Do we have a motion to adopt the agenda with the addendum? Can I get a second? It's been properly moved and second to adopt the agenda as amended. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The agenda is adopted. Do we have any changes to the minutes of the mid-month board meeting held October 30th? Have a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes. Second.
All in, properly moved and second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The motion is passed. Entertain a motion for consent agenda items 2 through 2A to 6, because we did have the addendum on there.
So moved.
So,
Second.
It's been properly moved and second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion has passed. Do we have any announcements or comments from the superintendent or any board members?
No, just one comment. Remember, you see in your packet that we listed the county did finalize this tax digest, and you'll see for information purposes only in your packet the 5-year levy history, which will be advertised over the coming weeks and presented to the board for adoption at the December 8th meeting. And at that point, they'll be able to send out tax bills. So we can get our tax revenue, property tax revenue.
Okay, any questions, Mr. Dyer? Do we have any other business to address? Dr. Hand, go ahead.
Chair, I'd like to, I have a few questions about certain things, Superintendent Dyer. One is that I went, I've been going to some of the schools. And I'm inquiring about over at Westover. My concern is by walking with the principal throughout the school, looking at the auditorium and the cafeteria. Notice that it was a ceiling tile that was open where the water was coming down in a trash can or whatever you call it. Still, Jesus still, and the coach, Mr. Challenge stated that he has been sending information to facilities over and over and over again, and nothing has been done as of yet. And the auditorium is, what are we doing?
Well, Principal Chun sent me an email to that effect. That was my first time hearing of the issues in the cafeteria, although he stated that he had sent information to facilities, and they had not acted upon it yet, but I think that's changed. I found out about it after the walkthrough. In terms of the auditorium, the auditorium is in use. As a matter of fact, we had the service in there during the alumni weekend, and but it is in need of modernization, and it is part of phase 3 of the renovation, right? But the cafeteria, the pictures he sent with the cafeteria, that should not have to wait until a renovation. That should be addressed, should have been addressed a while back, and we made that known to the appropriate people, and I think that's going to be addressed in short order. Yes, ma'am.
And the other one is dealing with Lake Park. Going over there, they have a lot, schools are beautiful, but, and the custodians are doing an outstanding job. But in the gym, there are loads and loads of boxes that have been there for a while, and facilities again, and principal stated that she has gone and done certain things, looked at the paperwork,
That's my first time hearing that, so I can't speak on that. I'll follow with the principal to see whether it's facilities or whether it's logistical services. If they're records, they will go to logistical services. If they need to be stored, if they need to be discarded, then they will go to the logistical services for shredding. But we have to find out what's in the boxes first. But yeah, that's my first time hearing of that.
Thank you.
Okay. Any board members have any business to address? Okay. I will now enter a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second that we adjourn. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.
When is our